New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Times are old, in times are new. There's a guide to follow to make it true. It's the pop culture field.
How's it going?
Hey,
you go first?
No, we can go at the same time. I think this is exactly how I thought we would start.
Okay, perfect.
Completely confused and totally lost.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a great first episode. Well, hello and welcome to the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast.
Yes.
I'm your host, Cameron Fath, and I'm here with my beautiful friend.
I am beautiful. Yes,
you are.
I'm Israel Wright, and it's good to be here with all of you. This is fun, man.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah, man. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I've been looking at Chris for a long time. He's our wonderful, beautiful producer, man, with that beautiful beard over there and that strong chin.
So strong, it's so bold.
We are here. Why are we
here,
here, Cameron?
We are here because we think it's our natural right, and we are completely
Our patriotic
entitled
duty.
Yeah, it's a patriotic duty. Served once, we're here to serve you again. No, we are actually here to discuss the military and how pop culture integrates in with that.
Yeah, all things. What is it? We got the military, we got the pop culture, we got action, we got weapons, and how they all kind of intersect and run together. You can't see my hands right now, but they're making a beautiful mosaic of fingers. Which sounds kind of weird. It sounded better in my head. Yeah. But we're here to talk about all sorts of pop culture stuff and how military is portrayed in music and movies and television, video games, and beyond.
Me and Israel met through Gameology.
That's right.
You know, I am a former airborne ranger. For those of you that don't know what that is a special operations member of the Army. Specialized in direct action raids, and did that for 4.5 years. No, what's your background there?
My name is Israel Wright. Yep, and I was a Special Forces Green Beret out of Fort Lewis, Washington. We were both out of Fort Lewis, Washington.
Both at Fort Lewis,
just
Washington.
different years. Yeah,
and
Special Forces Green Berets. They're full spectrum warriors. They deal in a lot of different stuff, not just direct action, but foreign internal defense. We got guerrilla warfare, irregular warfare, kind of thing. A lot of relationship building, a lot of shaking hands, kissing babies, things like that.
So cool.
You're so cool. So what are we talking about today, Camelama Ding Dong?
So today's topic today is military cliches and how they are in pop culture. I mean, you can think about movies, you can think about video games, music, whatever you want to. Anime, if you're into that. Hentai.
Yeah, naughty tentacles. Too many naughty tentacles in military anime.
Yeah. But, for example, like dudes who wear dog tags in civilian clothes, I think that's a giant cliche, and that should be outlawed.
And unfortunately, one that does have real world. We have seen it in the real world before.
Absolutely.
It's almost like that guy who, Bundy from Married with Children, which is a show that nobody would get understand these days. His big thing was like, I scored four touchdowns in one football game in high school, and he's like in his 40s. That's like his one claim to fame.
He wears the Letterman jacket to the local bar.
And then
exactly.
and then the idea is like you're like wearing that, and you wear it on the outside of your shirt, right? You don't wear it on the inside, or enough. You wear like that, and then a tight shirt so they see the impression of the dog tags. Like, hey, wait a second,
and you still get the high and tight haircut.
That's talk about another cliche. Yeah, it's like, oh man, come on.
The high and tight. Actually, the high and tight used to be like a Ranger thing.
Wasn't that like World War II?
It was from I think the era of World War II to like early 2000s was the high and tight. You got the high and tight, or you got the shit kicked out of you. So it's like, this is the Ranger haircut. And it's so funny watching the evolution of hair and like, you know, your appearance. Because back in the day, it was like so clean cut, high and tights, you know, everything was clean, spick and span. And then when I showed up, it was like, grow your hair as fucking long as you can. Put on these dirty ass black Converse and, you know, just get covered in tattoos.
Should we give these guys a little more credit though? I mean, it is like, you know, obviously I'm proud of my service. I assume you are too,
absolutely.
you know. But like, how far is too far in terms of being proud after you get out? You know, like, should you be like, you know, Green Berets were called the silent professionals. Should you be the silent professional, or should you be kind of a little more loud and proud when it comes to that kind of stuff?
You should. I mean,
you should be the silent professional.
Yeah, thank me for my fucking service.
Excuse me, sir.
So let's get into this. So I know we got a couple cliches written down that we want to talk about.
I got a couple pulled up here too.
you
There's
do?
some pretty fun ones. You
hit
know,
me,
like
hit me with one.
like one of our I brought up. Let's see, like, no one is willing to fight until the protagonist in a movie gives an inspiring speech. You know, I love that because it's like, it's almost as if like nobody, like everybody in the military is just like waiting around for somebody to like inspire them, like they're not ready to do their job. They haven't trained for this. You know, like when I went to Iraq, like I was ready. I was excited. I'm like, I get to do my job, everything that I've been trained for. And we were very well trained. I'm sure you were too as well. And like when I hit the tarmac, you know, in Kuwait, and like that hot, I remember the first moment, that hot sun, that hot heat wave hits me. And I'm like, man, I'm actually deployed. This is great. You know, like,
you're here to do the job you've literally been training, you know, months for. Yeah. And that's hilarious that you say that, because it's so true in the fact that, like, I don't know if they're just like making fun of cowards that just decide to go infantry and they're like, well, I'm just doing it for the GI Bill so I can get the school paid for it. Or they're like, hey, well, I didn't know what to do, so I joined the military. It's like, no, we trained so long and so hard to just go and smash skulls overseas. And yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. It's like, you don't got to tell me to fire my gun. You got to tell me when to stop firing my gun.
Right. Anything else coming to mind? Anything you've seen in like a movie or a music video? Or...
One of these right here increased my blood pressure. The phrase "reporting for duty, sir." So
reporting for duty,
sir. Yeah, no. If that doesn't happen, and it's so funny because we have this. I don't know how it is in the big army. I mean, I'm in the National Guard now, so I kind of got a little taste for like how, you know, things that suck work. But yeah, in special
I will not apologize, National Guard.
I will not apologize, National Guard.
Get your act together.
Exactly. Try harder. But it's like you don't have these like garrison type things in special operations. Like you get there, and it's like if I had a private come up to me and they're like, Private Smith, reporting for duty.
You're talking about like little cultural norms
that
like kind of seep into like garrison,
or at least just, you know, these cliches. Like you see them in movies all the time.
Yeah,
you know, you see the brand new private show up overseas by himself. That doesn't happen. Like Black Hawk Down
alone. Like he gets off the plane and it's just him.
Literally Orlando Bloom in Black Hawk Down, and those are like my boys. And he just gets up and he's like, I'm proud to be here, like the Private Blackburn. You know, I'm just here, just showing up in Somalia. And it's
thanks, like you just were late to the bus and you just came by yourself. Yeah,
it's wild, because if a private came up to me when I was a gun team leader, fire team leader, it's like reporting for duty, corporal, I'd be like, kill yourself. Like,
why can't you talk?
Like,
why'd you just call me SAR?
You just signed your own death notice, friend. It's just like, hey, like, put these clothes on and, you know, put this heavy shit on your back. Let's go.
You know what? Speaking of Black Hawk Down, I think that every military movie, and I understand it from like a storytelling point of view, like an expositional point of view, you have to have the briefing where everybody like, they're just learning about this right now. Like, we're going to get this guy and he's in this compound, and they got all the visual aids and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how it was for you, but like when we're doing the briefing, that is the last thing we do as we're stepping out the door, which means like we already know what we're doing. We've already been briefed a couple dozen times. Yeah. We already know what our jobs are. And then the briefing itself is just like to recap real quick. And then we're going to head out the door right now. You know, like we're ready to go.
I mean, you get the warning order, right? It's like, hey, boom, alert, this is what's happening. And you get that minimal information, but you know what's going on. And then you get the actual op orders getting prepped, and you have time to like conduct rehearsals based off that thing. And then you actually get that gnarly op order when it comes. And then that's the last thing before you head out the door. And then you start getting other, you know, fragos based off that. Which
a a lot of times for us where we were at, we'd be there, for a long period of time. A lot of times we would collect our own intel. We'd have our own assets and things like that. So we would have, I would have a lot more insight. They would already be kind of buzzing around before we actually, we're going to do that thing we've been talking about for a couple of days. Or this guy has kind of said this thing and it came together with this piece of information. Yeah. Now we're going to actually put something together.
Yeah, multiple briefs. You're going to brief after brief after brief.
Yeah.
Well, hit me with another one, man. What do you got?
I like this one because I'm not sure it's a cliche because I think we did have our own share of vehicle problems, but it's always the vehicle breaking down at the crucial point, or the vehicle breaking down just so that we can have like an emotional dialogue scene. But we had to maybe it is a cliche that people think that special forces like Green Berets that we have it all. We just have a garage full of all the latest and greatest gear, like the Bat Cave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we just roll those out. And so we don't have, we've got nothing. We have just about as much as everybody else.
You had nothing. Okay? Yeah. Times have changed.
That's right.
We had great equipment. Don't get me wrong. And we had access to it, but equipment at the end of the day is equipment. If it fails,
it works. And it works as well as you maintain it. Yeah. We did a very good job of maintaining our stuff, but a lot of times, it must be one of those government spending things where if you don't, if you're efficient, we used what we had with great effect and great efficiency, and that means we didn't utilize our whole budget. Well, if you don't utilize your whole budget, they say next year, well, we didn't use that much, so we're just going to give you this much.
That much less.
Yeah, that much less.
You're not going to spend all that much money, so we're using it on something else.
No, we barely got by last time. What are you doing?
Just buy all the stuff and things. Buy lots of rubber bands.
All the Suntoe watches. Everybody gets 100 Suntoe watches.
Yeah. Let's see. One right here that caught my attention is basically that's an order. Has someone ever said that to you? That's an order.
Yeah, nobody's ever, because I always knew.
You know it was an order.
I know it was an order.
If my team,
you just told me to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
That's called an order.
Exactly. I've never had to tell someone. Actually, I've seen it one time where someone was do something, and they were just straight up no, and that's just classic insubordination, and it is the most awkward thing ever.
Yeah.
Because you're either after that, throwing fists just based off you just disrespected me as a man. But or it's just an awkward silence, and you're just wait, but hey, man, I said this.
Yeah, you almost don't know how to respond. Wait, did you just say no to me?
That was my biggest fear, and it was just asking
that somebody because you were in a command position a bit, right?
Yeah, I was a gun team leader, so I had, and then a fire team leader, and now I'm a squad leader in my reconnaissance platoon. So it's you have to understand how to create that working relationship with people, because I saw a lot of people that would just once they took control, they just made it a very toxic environment. And the only thing that made people want to do things for them was just fear. So I'm terrified of this guy because I don't know if he's going to physically harm me or, just punish me because I'm a good listener and I will do what he says.
Oh, man.
But I try to get on that level where it's hey, you want to do this for me because, you like me as a person, I ask how your dog's doing. I ask, how the kids at home. And, you get on a personal level.
Because it's the military, right? It's command structure, and you have to follow the lawful orders of your superiors. Yeah. But it seems like you got a good head about leadership and I had a great team sergeant too on one of the teams that I was in, man. He was a great leader of men, and I wanted to do my best for him because I respected him.
Yeah. Because, you see it all too well where, one of the biggest things is my first team leader, amazing role model, Robert Love. And Billy Trotta, these guys, molded me into this man that I really appreciate. But, one thing that he told me is I will never do something that I will never make my men do something that I will not do myself. And I was and that's hey, if I got to stick my hand in this, pile of shit because I dropped something important in there, he's I would do it, but but I don't have to, but just know I would if you weren't here. But, that's an order thing is non-existent. You do it because I said so.
My office right now. That only happened in basic training, me being yelled into somebody's office. Oh, I love this one because I don't know if you saw. So, folks, we do these experts react videos for this channel called Gameology on YouTube, and go check them out sometime. We did one for Splinter Cell Blacklist. Have you ever read the comments on that?
Oh,
the
dude,
neck breaking one.
Oh, come on.
He
people, give me
didn't
a
break
fucking
his neck.
break.
He sliced it. Didn't you
sliced
see
his
the knife
throat.
in his hands?
I don't think they realize that when we're on Gameology, the screen we're looking at is like the size of a small MacBook desktop, and it's not the video's not taking.
And we don't hear the audio
Yeah, we don't
either,
hear the
you
audio
know?
too. The audio's playing in the background of like some dude's MacBook. And it's like, well, not some dude. We know who they are. I'm not gonna.
Our good, hard-working Gameology team.
Gameology team. We love you. Thank you for all that you do. But anyways, I can't see the specifics, people. I know if they're shooting. I know if they're running. I know if they're doing flippity floops. And it's like some dude with a mini, like maybe this thing on screen is like 2 millimeters.
A tiny karambit.
Tiny little karambit that he used to slit the guy's throat. And it's like, I don't.
Regardless, the principle still holds. It's very hard to snap a neck, all right? Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, it just comes up behind someone and just goes with your hands, make it look effortless. It takes some effort.
We'll
do one more. You want to do one more?
Yeah, you want to do one? Yeah, what do you got?
Let's see.
What tickles your fancy? Well, you know what? There's one that I got is the troops in a movie. The troops are always like the military is always like the secret bad guy, the revealed at the end.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's always like all these movies, especially if he's a soldier.
Oh,
he's
will
the
do
new guy.
What he's told.
Yes, and you will follow the orders, and you find out at the end that the military commanders were always like,
they're all corrupt.
Like if there's like a zombie outbreak, you know, and like. You'd think that, like, if there's ever hey, let me make this promise to you, civilians. Let me make this promise to you, general public. If there's ever a zombie outbreak, the military base is the first place you want to go to because they're going to be the ones rebuilding society, holding down order, fighting the zombies. They're not going to be trying to do secret experiments to turn them into bioweapons.
Plus,
okay?
they're all gone. They're all gone. And the houses are there, you know, the wives are there to breed with, so you go and you take their wives.
That's right.
It's
we have
like,
our own.
literally, they're not taking them. They don't got...
We're not going to come take your wives.
Just
folks.
move in.
Don't make them right, Cameron. We're not the bad guys here.
Yeah, no. It's very interesting. And it's funny because, you know, if someone's doing some bad shit, I'm not gonna follow that. If I'm a morally
we're not a bunch of we're just a bunch of robots, man. Yeah.
We're not robots, Terminators programmed.
We're not some AJ squared away robot.
Yeah. We have common moral thinking, you know, heads on our shoulders, and if something doesn't make sense, I know I don't want to do it. It was very uncomfortable. For example, the riots that happened last year, right? When I was activated for the National Guard.
Yep.
And it was like people were thinking we're literally coming down there and we're gonna start just blasting people. Just in the streets.
Heads.
If you're in the streets, you're fucking dead. We got your number, you know? And it was like I get down there and I'm just like, hey man, I just please don't break that window of that business, you know, that lives here, and you know you'll be fine. I was like, protest all you want, you know, amen, brother, do your thing, and sister, whatever your fucking fancy is, he, she, me, you know, it. But it's like, yeah, we weren't there to like stop these people or just beat the shit out of them like they were expecting. We were there just to keep the city safe. Yeah, like, do your thing, man. You are an American person. You can protest.
Your free speech.
Yeah, freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. You know, just don't break that window.
Yeah, man.
Don't break that window.
Oh, can we do something fun? I brought something up as I was doing my little bit of research. Why don't we do like a lightning round, just real quick? Just me. Ever heard it in the military? I'll say a line. I'll say a phrase. You got to tell me if you've ever heard it in the military.
What if I just finish your thought?
Well, I don't know. That'd be amazing if you could. There's not a lot going on in there, so your chances are good. All right. Have you ever heard of... Okay, here we go. Get some.
Get some. Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
That's what I say when you're shooting the 240 at civilians.
All right, cool, right. That's never happened, folks.
That's never happened. Vietnam.
Lock and load.
Lock and load. Load and lock.
Loaded lock?
You ever heard that one?
No.
Load and lock.
No.
Yeah, it's if you put the mag in first and then you rack it.
Ah. A little reverse psychology.
Absolutely.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty. Never told anybody that in my life.
Never told them to stay. There's not a lot. There's a lot of hot soldiers out there. Cover me. I'm going in.
Cover me. I'm going in. No, never heard that. Nobody ever said. Honestly, there was one that I saw earlier. It was. Have you ever heard? Let's see. we've got company.
That was literally the next one on my list.
Yeah, I saw that on the list. It was like, we've got company. No, you never hear
You
that,
never.
You know what you hear is just.
Yeah, contact front.
Yeah,
you know,
you hear guns start shooting, and you
and
know
everybody
you're in
knows
contact.
you've got company.
I know.
Yeah.
Every time someone was like, "Oh, if you yelled before you shot your gun, it was like the biggest no ever." It's like if you're shooting, we know we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You don't gotta announce it
that's
and then
the signal.
shoot. Yeah, that's the signal.
That's an order. We already did that. Okay,
next.
It's gonna blow.
It's gonna blow. That's actually a scary one. You have landslide calls.
Landslide.
Terrifying call. Had to do it one time during training, but I mean, you train like you fight, so you do everything 110% when you're in training. Yeah, landslide calls. If you have any sort of ordnance inside the building, that's like hooked to blow. So I mean, it's you use tactical words, so you're not saying like, hey. Like, this place is about to blow. We need to get the, fuck out of here. It's literally, it's like landslide. Everyone knows. And, I mean, if you hear a landslide call, you're not supposed to say it over the radio because frequency can, accidentally trip some of these initiators on the devices. So you have to yell it. And when you hear a landslide, it means just get out of the house the way you came or the fastest way possible. Wow. So, like, I've seen people jump out of second-story windows trying to, like, get out of this possible bomb threat that's going to level this building. Wow. So that's a scary one. Yeah, landslide.
Wow, man. All right, cool. You ever shot live rounds at a soldier's feet?
No.
Get their attention, make them do something?
Big no.
Big no.
I did have a malfunction in my saw one time where I literally you're on bipod, so I went behind this bunker to try to clear this malfunction, and when I put the gun down, since it's open bolt, the bolt slammed forward, shot a round off right like 2 inches from my feet, and I was like, what the fuck? This thing's a piece of shit. Saws. Army. Get new belt feds.
Get a new squad automatic weapon. Yeah.
I think that's all you got for me, right?
Yeah, man. I think that's it. I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I tried my best.
I think that we've all learned a valuable lesson here today.
Exactly.
What that is, I don't know, but I'm just guessing.
Landslide? Get out of the house.
Yeah, landslide. Get out of the house. That's funny. A lot of it brings back a lot of memories actually, and make me realize that I've seen a lot of war movies.
Yeah,
because all these cliches, they seem very familiar to me.
Because you think they're going to make you feel good, that you're going to relive the glory days, and some of them are so poorly made that they just make you want to kill yourself afterwards. I don't recommend that.
Which is funny because I think I probably watched more war movies before I was in the military. Now that I'm out, for some reason it just doesn't have the same appeal. I watch them for like the acting or the emotional story and stuff. Not like, oh yeah, like you say, like, oh, I remember when I was in a foxhole or whatever.
Yeah, no.
Never in a foxhole.
I was watching them to get ready, to get an idea of what I was getting myself in, but I didn't realize that Hollywood has a tendency to,
it's called artistic license.
Yeah, they make things appear way better than they might be in real life.
Well, I've heard, on a serious note, I've heard it said both ways that all war movies are anti-war movies, and all anti-war movies end up being pro-war movies. Okay. Like, because it's like, I don't know, there's something about like the human condition to be a part of something, to be a part of a great cause, or to give up your life for a great cause or something like that. But then there's also like the horrors of wars, the reflection of our humanity and what we can do to one another and stuff like that. So it ends up kind of, no matter what kind of movie it is, you could take it both ways, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go to sleep without the smell of burnt flesh now.
Yeah, I mean, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Literally, napalm.
Charlie don't serve.
Don't ask me how I got that.
Speaking of Charlie don't serve, that's Apocalypse Now. We're going to play a game, folks.
Yes.
How's this game going to work?
What we're going to do is we're going to call this Cam's 5-Minute Movie, which is a title I just made up and didn't read off this paper prepared for me. I'm going to give you a movie, and you're going to give me like a quick synopsis, like your best, most exciting synopsis of
I really wish
movie.
I prepared for this.
That's all right. You know what?
Okay.
On the fly is better. Improv is better. Okay. Why don't we do that? You want to do Apocalypse Now?
Should we do? Honestly, I wrote a analysis of Apocalypse Now.
You did?
I can do it. I just hope I remember it.
Well,
I'm not going to explore the deep themes of it because it's just a descent into insanity.
That's all right. That's okay.
But,
Heart of Darkness. That's all right. You know what? You just do you.
No.
YOLO, seize the day, carpe, whatever.
Okay.
Give me the lowdown on Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
Now.
It starts out. Time starts now. Okay, Apocalypse Now, right? Don't know who directed it, don't know who plays in it, but I know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life. So it starts out, guy in a hotel room, captain type. He's, doing some weird shit. He's getting really fucked up. He's doing his dancing and he's doing his, like, kung fu moves. But anyways, time's clicking, so are we.
Yep.
He gets wasted, wakes up the next morning. Oh, sir, put these fucking clothes on. I'm Private. What's his name? You got to
I'm Harrison Ford. Yeah.
That was Harrison Ford?
Oh, yeah, that was Harrison Ford.
Okay, well, that's how unobservant I am. Yeah, explains the Karembit bit right there in the Gameology video. But anyway,
he comes in, snaps his neck.
Hey, secret mission, we have this one Green Beret. Sounds familiar, right? One Green Beret went rogue. He went into Cambodia, and, we don't know what happened to him, but he's supposed to be doing this mission, and we need you to... It's either a rescue mission or an assassination.
Oh, yeah,
it's an assassination,
right.
so it's not a rescue. They know he's going rogue, and they want him to take him out. So, anyways, he's like, okay, you're going to get boated by these Navy guys, and they're going to take you down.
Boated. Sounds dirty.
Take you down. Yeah, boated. You into boating?
You're going to get boated?
You ever been boated?
All right, let's move on.
Anyway, Navy guy on the ship. Stuff's going bad. He seems to be going, like, just getting tossed around the Vietnamese units. He goes from these Navy guys where they get, like, I think they they ambush some fishermen and some stuff, but, they fucking had it coming.
Depending on which version, because there's, like, 4 different versions of this movie.
There's a lot of versions. But anyway, so my favorite scene, the air cav.
The air cav.
Air cav. He gets to the air cav, got your major there. Yep. He's just putting poker cards on people, death cards, if you will.
Yep.
And he's the guy that famously says, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. And my favorite quote, Charlie don't serve. So he's like, we're going to take this, he's like,
Robert Duvall.
Yeah. We're going to take this, got to take this beach here. And they're like, Charlie's all over it. And he's like, we got to take it because I'm going to surf that fucking beach.
Yep.
Charlie don't surf. And then boom.
Flight of Valkyries, I love it.
Yeah, fly in, fuck everything up, we're good to go. He gets handed off, eventually, that's when he gets handed off to the Navy guys. He's like, I'm gonna take you down. The beach.
The riverboat.
The riverboat, yeah. And they're just continuing down this riverboat, and this guy's by himself the entire time. And he's just some captain. And the thing is, like, officers don't get that good at training. Nah, who would have picked this guy? You think you'd pick an enlisted guy to do this, but no. Like a sergeant major or something, but no, a captain.
If you were to hire him to file a report on Colonel Kurtz, then you would have.
Yeah. Kurtz. You remember the names. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, he infiltrates. Kurt's tent is actually he's the tribe lord of like this group of villagers that are living in Cambodia. And the funny thing is, they do like this cow execution, and in real life, they actually execute a real cow.
This was before many laws were passed.
PETA and the hairy armpit ladies.
Oh man!
But so they execute the thing on camera, but they could do it because it was an actual real tribe.
Wow.
So they weren't actors.
Oh, wow.
So they were actually allowed to do it, and that's a cool fun fact that not a lot of people know. But
they do.
Anyways, he gets captured, and Captain Kurtz is in charge of these guys, and he wants to go and basically assassinate this guy, and he eventually does.
Mm-hmm.
But the horror, and it's like the horrors of war, and like his depth into insanity, and like there's a real specific part and feeling about the movie where you can see how like this developed man who's not really developed, he has problems from the drinking in the beginning, and he just descends. You can tell his like his thought process is just going to shit. And by the end of the movie, he's like he's had it. He's in insanity, and
does he end up? I know he ends up killing Colonel Kurtz.
Yeah, he does. He kills him.
But does he? What happened?
I think the movie just ends.
It just ends. He doesn't go back to civilization.
Yeah, it's go back, and it's like after all this, it's like the war is hell.
Yeah,
and it's like you're gonna be crazy if you ever go, just like me and you,
just like you and I. Yep, that's exactly. We're just baby killers, just brainwashed. Propagandists,
exactly.
Military, industrial, military complexities of the propaganda.
We love coal and we waste resources.
That's right, every day.
Well, that was fun, actually.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm surprised you knew that much about the movie.
I want to see it again now, based off of your description.
Movie. Yeah, and you said Heart of Darkness earlier, and that's that movie.
The book upon which it was based.
Yeah, it was, and that I haven't read the book, but I had to do an analysis like when I was in community college, and it was honestly good movie. If you haven't watched Apocalypse Now, go ahead and do it if you got the time. It's hard to understand, but like there's certain bits that really minor things in the movies that that mean really major things and you don't even realize.
No, and just as good a story is the production hell they went through to get that thing made. That's it. That's a story in and of itself.
Oh yeah,
is how hard it was to get the movie made in the first place. You know,
and for the time. I mean, the time it was made in, like those effects were top notch.
Yeah, just all sorts of scheduling problems and actor problems and all this kind of stuff. And I forget where they. Oh, well, that's an episode for another time. Like where they film all that kind of production hell stuff. Well, folks, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, that's all the time we have today.
This has been amazing.
I hope we didn't waste too much of your time.
Not too much, only a little bit.
Only a little bit.
We'll get better, folks. This is the first one, so we'll put this one in the can.
A little rickety, but I mean, it's. I feel like an erection in my pants coming on. I'm starting to feel good.
That's good. I wouldn't have used that analogy, but I feel like I feel what you're talking about. Not literally, metaphorically, of course.
Yeah, metaphorically, because physically that would be interesting. We're pretty close.
Yeah. We're gonna have to find. That's the next episode.
That's the next one. Stay tuned for Cameron's erection next episode. Well, thank you all for listening in. We're super appreciative of everybody listening. We release a new podcast. What? Every Wednesday? Right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to get one out every Wednesday. We'll try to pump these things out. If you guys like what you're hearing, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you find your podcasts. Like, subscribe, 5-star review, all that good stuff.
Or and you can send us death threats.
Hate mail. That'll be great too. You can send those to PCFM Podcast. That's Pop Culture Field Manual. PCFM Podcast at gmail.com. PCFM Podcast at gmail.com. Let us know your feedback. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. Go to the Gameologies Facebook and YouTube page. Check out Spec Ops React. There you'll see me and Cameron's beautiful faces. If you want to hang out with me, I'm a Twitch streamer. You can go to twitch.tv/myhappyself. I stream every Monday and Wednesday evening from 4 to 9 Pacific time and every Friday morning, 7 a.m. until noon.
Nice, and sometimes I like to hop on there too.
We have a special Cameron's a special guest. So we always get a double bump in our viewership.
I bring my little fans.
Oh man, you bring it. They're always really excited.
They're super cool. I love it, man. Yeah. They're awesome.
But Cameron, you know what? There's a lot of naked people out there. What can they do about that?
They can clothe themselves with a very specific clothing brand called Kick God, which is my personal brand. Honestly, guys, like, I'm having so much fun with this clothing brand, and I appreciate all the support that has been given thus far.
Nice.
And we just did an event for homeless veterans out in LA.
Yep.
So a lot of people don't understand or don't know that a lot of the portion of my revenue actually goes to communities that need help in LA.
That's awesome.
So every purchase of any Kick God apparel, anything on the website will go to spreading positivity and good vibes in this city.
Right on, man.
But that is all the time we have. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. I am Cameron Fath.
I'm Israel Wright, and we will see you on the next episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual.
Do-do-do-do.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.